It's time now for a look at the latest business news here on France 24. I'm Kate Moody. The UK economy is growing at its fastest pace since the end of 2007. The government confirmed GDP growth of 0.8% for the second quarter, the same as the beginning of the year. It revised upwards the annual rate of growth from 3.1 to 3.2%. The service sector, which makes up more than 75% of economic activity, remained the main driver of growth, while the construction sector also performed better than expected. A growing concern in the UK is the increasing gap between wages and inflation. The Bank of England has made it a key factor in its decision about if and when to raise interest rates. Now, those figures come in stark contrast to Thursday's growth figures from the Eurozone. GDP growth in both Germany and Italy slipped into decline, while France and the Eurozone as a whole stagnated at 0% growth. Despite that flat line, François Hollande remains optimistic that his plan to cut payroll taxes and boost job creation will put the French economy back on track.
France is the world's fifth biggest economy, and with these reforms, it intends to stay at that level. France counts in the world and on the international stage.
Now, Asian markets saw one of their best trading days in months this Friday, but we saw a more mixed picture here in Europe. The major indices tumbled late in the trading session amid fears about a new outbreak of violence in Ukraine. Just the FTSE closing slightly in the green there, still riding high on that news of strong economic growth in the United Kingdom. Turning to some of the day's other business news headlines now, Austria's Signa Group has brought Germany's struggling department store Karstadt for a symbolic €1. Karstadt, which has 83 stores and 17,000 employees across Germany, has seen sales fall and made a net loss of €34 million in the first half of its fiscal year. Coca-Cola has bought a nearly 17% stake in Monster Beverages, the maker of a popular energy drink. The over $2 billion deal will see Coca-Cola transfer its energy drinks business to Monster and in turn take over Monster's non-energy drinks like Hansen's Natural Soda and Peace Tea. Coke has been under investor pressure to find new growth as the carbonated soda market weakens. And Chiquita has rejected a surprise takeover bid from two Brazilian firms who'd offered $611 million for the US-based banana giant. Chiquita said the offer was inadequate and that it still planned to join forces with the Irish fruit distributor Fifes. That merger would create the world's largest banana supplier with $4.6 billion in annual revenue. Now, the Gamescom event in Cologne, Germany, is billed as the world's largest trade show in the gaming industry. Gamers, developers, and publishers are gathering there until Sunday to check out what's new in a market worth tens of billions of euros. And of course, that old battle between Sony, PlayStation, and Xbox is center stage, as Nicholas Ruthworth explains.
Welcome to Gamescom, the 6th edition, a venue for what's new in video games. And a battleground for two giants, Microsoft's Xbox versus Sony's PlayStation. Sony is demonstrating its Project Morpheus here. It's a virtual reality headset giving gamers a 90-degree field view.
It immerses gamers into a completely new experience, into a completely new world, breaking them off from reality. You are right in the middle. You feel like you're part of the gameplay. Something like this has never existed before.
Sony is celebrating at this Gamescom, announcing 10 million units sold for its 8th generation console, PlayStation 4. That is after 9 months on the market, and a contrast to Xbox One, also launched last autumn, which is estimated to have sold around half that. Virtual reality gaming is the top trend among the 650 exhibitors presenting new products and innovations. For people not wanting to bother with the 21st century, there is business too. Not much, admittedly, in games nostalgia. The retro section makes life seem so much simpler.
And we'll end with a birthday celebration. It's been 100 years since the Panama Canal opened for business, connecting the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans and revolutionizing global trade. Nearly 80 kilometers long, it was run by the Americans until the turn of the century when Panama took over. It now handles about 5% of total world shipping, with 18,000 vessels passing through each year. It's also undergoing a controversial and expensive makeover. The $5.3 billion expansion project has been stalled by strikes, legal problems, and disagreements about cost, and is running more than a year behind schedule. That's all for this business bulletin. Do stay tuned to France 24.